What is going on, gents? It's RPM here, reporting from my secret bunker on the plantation. Now, heed my warning. I actually posted an article in my comment section that when I looked at, I was like, well. Now, this article is actually an update to a video that I previously did called Maybe It's Time for Frontier Justice. And believe you me, gentlemen, this article right here shows that maybe society is finally starting to wake up to female fuckery and starting to put its foot down. Now, this article was published on the 13th of July, and I'm going to give you a warning right up front. This is a very long article. So, gentlemen, get your drinks, strap the fuck in, because believe you me, I'm going to be going in on this one. Ex-Arizona teacher sentenced to 20 years for molesting teenage student. Well. A former Arizona teacher has been sentenced to 20 years in prison, the lowest possible sentence allowed for her crime, after pleading guilty to molesting a 13-year-old student. That was the lowest possible sentence. Yeah, the maximum, 44 years. But anyway, ex-teacher Brittany Zamora will be on probation for the rest of her life and must register as a sex offender. She goes on and says, "I'm a good and genuine person who made a mistake and I regret it deeply. Boo-hoo-hoo." Get the fuck out of here with that nonsense. She apologized to the victims, their families, and her own family. She told Judge Sherry Steffens that her actions were out of character and that she'd like to attend counseling. Yeah, right, bull fucking shit. She's not sorry about what she did. She's only sorry that she got caught. Come the fuck on. But outside the courtroom, Zamora, in a statement read by her attorney, blamed the child she sexually abused and painted herself as the victim. Oh, gee. Standard operating procedure for female rapists, which is exactly what the hell this woman is. Stop sugarcoating these women when they're in these positions. Call them exactly what they are. This was not between a young child and Brittany. This was a teenager, attorney Belen Obida Garras said. And there's actually a video on YouTube of her talking about this. And yeah, typical female fashion. Band together, blame the victim, especially if the victim is a man. Ironic, isn't it? We always talk about we shouldn't victim blame, but only if it's a woman you shouldn't victim blame. But anyway, the sentence marked the end of the sensational case of 28-year-old Zamora. Oh, I did mention the fact that she was married, right? Oh, but that's always a standard thing. The details were salacious. Police reports recounted how she had sex with the boy multiple times in her car and classroom, and once with an 11-year-old male student in the room. Oh, but somehow she's the victim. Yeah. See, gentlemen, this is why we say women are children. Once they realize that they can use sex to get what they want, their mind mentally stops growing. Anyway, Zamora, who sat before the judge, was attentive but appeared almost stone-faced during the emotional hearing. Now, isn't that ironic? Her lawyer, female, the judge, female, but yet she's not trying to be emotional. Anyway, a few tears ran down her face while several poignant statements were made directly to her, as her mother pleaded with the judge to give her daughter the shortest sentence possible. Her face began to twist as the parents of the victims told her how they hope she never gets to be a mother. Miss, even though it's Mrs. Zamora, lures these boys, earns their trust, then takes advantage of them to fill her own sexual desires. The mother of the boy Zamora asked to stand watch while she had sex with another student, said in court, "Wow." She used her position of power to molest a child. She's a pedophile and no different than if a man was sitting in her place right now. Oh, good fucking point. Good point. Good. Maricopa County Prosecutor Lacey Fisher said Zamora only stopped because she was caught. Oh man, it seems like these females are going in on her, which is great. If a parent hadn't discovered what was happening, there's little doubt that there would have been more victims in the defendant's considerable wake, Fisher said. Zamora pleaded guilty to sexual conduct with a minor, attempted molestation of a minor, and public sexual indecency in June as part of a plea deal. Steffens considered a number of mitigating factors, including Zamora's lack of criminal history. Who gives a fuck about that? Who cares about that? Anyway, she said aggravating circumstances, including the fact Zamora had violated and abused her position of trust and then tried to conceal the crimes. Yeah, but how was she a victim again? Anyway, I found the circumstances of the offenses to be especially aggravating, Judge Stevens said. The maximum sentence, would have been 44 years. Society should be protected from her. They are not holding back on this woman. Neither of the two victims were present in the courtroom Friday. An attorney for the boy who was molested read a statement from his mother. She talked about how before he was an innocent child, and basically she stole that innocence from him. She flat out said, "I hate Brittany Zamora for what she did to my son and family. We should not have to suffer for someone else's sick pleasure, but we all are." Wow. The parents of both boys expressed concern that Zamora would get a lighter sentence because she is a young, attractive woman. The parents of the boy who was abused asked for the maximum sentence, as they should. Now, her 20-year sentence is what her attorneys and family asked for. Her attorney highlighted Zamora's lack of a criminal record, blah, 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 still trying to paint her as a victim. Who gives a flying fuck? Now, let me go ahead and go to the next page. Zamora's mother, Darlene Irene, told the court that it was actually the media and the public who were the monsters in this case. Oh, boy, I tell you, anything to deflect and get her to not be held responsible for her actions. Oh, my goodness. She said media coverage made Zamora seem more predatory than she was. No, the evidence presented to the public showed that she was predatory. Please understand that she is not a monster. This is a beautiful person with the kindest heart ever, Irwin said, mentioning that Zamora had been prom queen. Wow. Wow. Oh, I tell you, these women will do anything to avoid responsibility and deflect whenever possible. But to the mother of the victims, that's not enough. She wrote that Zamora's plea deal was too lenient. Well, 20 years, I can actually side with the victim's parents on this one. Yeah, they gave her the lowest sentence possible, which was still 20 years. Yeah. But what can I say? We got to take baby steps, gents. The mother wrote that her son has struggled in the year since Zamora's arrest. His life was uprooted. He changed schools in the months after. He's experienced difficulty sleeping, headaches, and in addition to wandering thoughts, depressed feelings, and anxiety. So, to any man out there who would come back and say that stupid ass phrase, man, I wish we had teachers like that when I was a kid, shut the fuck up because you're part of the problem. Anytime a man says that phrase or any phrase along those lines, when it comes to a female rapist, you are part of the problem. You are unconsciously giving these women a pass. Why? Because they see comments like this and they realize, well, these grown-ass men won't hold me accountable. So guess what? I pretty much have free reign to fuck young boys. I have the free reign to rape young boys. Gentlemen, it's time to stop saying that bullshit. Anyway, I am emotionally devastated and sick at heart and devastated by worry, the mother wrote. I fear and mourn for my son, whose childhood ended too soon. Now, we all know the famous story of Mary Kay Letourneau, right? And what happened to the boy that she was molesting? Yeah, he became a massive mental case. But anyway, the mother also requested Zamora be ordered to cover the cost of her son's counseling fees, which that woman's family should cover. All right, it goes into another small article. Well, part of this article, anyway. Zamora's lawyer shifts blame to victim in press conference. Yeah. They go in and literally say that the teenage underage victim seduced Zamora and emphasized the fact that he was technically a teenager. However, the age of consent in Arizona is 17. Yeah. Oh, whenever they can, they will blame any male that they possibly can. Get the fuck out of here. However, they also accuse the school of ignoring Zamora's request to move the victim to another class because the victim had quote unquote boundary issues and was obsessed with his teacher. Oh boy, I tell you, man, when you read this article, you're going to be like, what? Really? All of this? Yeah. Now, the lawyer goes back and says that she's denied blaming the 13-year-old and that she was calling Zamora a victim when questioned about the accusations directly. Yeah, so what happened? Oh, I can safely say that my client is a victim, but now that the heat's on, I'm going to have to backtrack. Yeah. Okay. Now, I mentioned in my previous video about her husband. Yeah, her husband was forced to cuck up, which is actually a damn shame. It is. Now, why is it that in these situations of female rapists, the husband's not granted an automatic divorce? Why is that? Seriously, why is that? But yeah, the husband became a massive cuck, and he actually called the parents of the teenagers, and that's another article for another day. Now, this guy, once she went into jail, he should have immediately began divorce proceedings. However, as we all know, the family court would have still blamed him. They would have still put the gun to his head and say, you know what? It's your fault. Gentlemen, we live in a sick-ass society. But to close this video out, I'm glad that this bitch got what she got. This woman and women like her are extremely sick, and they need to be put the fuck away. Now, this is going to mark as a huge baby step. A lot more women need to understand, if you decide to become a child rapist, you will be made to face the consequences of your actions. Now, in the past, there were a lot of good-looking women who became child rapists when they became teachers, and some of them literally were told that they were too young and attractive to go to jail. And a lot of them got off. However, societies are starting to experience a shift. So yes, gentlemen, read this lengthy article. Go back and check out my other video, Maybe It's Time for Frontier Justice, and let me know what you guys think. And believe you me, ladies, when the power goes out, feminism and the ability to have your child raping ways will go out right along with it. That's all I got to say for this one. RPM, I am